It's Wednesday, November 6th, the day after the election. I'm Rick, and no matter how you feel about how the election turned out, I think it's really an obvious conclusion that Donald Trump and Republicans they want a mandate. Donald Trump's going to be president. He's going to win all seven swing states. Republicans are going to control the Senate. The House is still up for grabs, could go either way at this point, although it seems like it might be leaning a little Democratic. Um, so we're going to have to see what happens. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there who believe that no matter who's president, things in America really won't change that much. That America's strong, democracy's strong, it can withstand anything. And I think the next 4 years are going to be sort of an experiment on whether or not that's a correct premise. So thinking about that, what's it going to mean for the entertainment industry? What's it going to mean for Hollywood? And I think the obvious first thing is that it's going to mean that mergers are going to happen. There were some mergers like the Warner Brothers Discovery, where they want to sell themselves off, and there was some concern that a Biden or a Harris administration wouldn't allow that to happen. You're going to see WBD out there like standing on a street corner trying to sell itself off for whatever it can get. I mean that the Warner Brothers Discovery business model is built on cutting costs and selling itself off. So David Zaslav and John Malone and other investors can make money. Is that good for the company? No. Is that good for consumers? No. Is it good for the future of Hollywood? No. But that's what's going to happen. You're going to see it sell off because honestly, the executives there don't know what else to do with the company. You're going to see some other mergers and other acquisitions. There's not really going to be anything standing in the way. And that's going to have a really big impact on Hollywood. I mean, I think one of the takeaways from most mergers is that the people who make money out of the deal are the investors or company executives. That it means every time there's a merger, every time there's an acquisition, people lose money. There are fewer projects. That's the way that you make money in the short term is cutting costs. So we're going to see a lot of cost cutting. Um, there's sort of a couple of bigger issues to this as well. One of which is that for my years in doing financial reporting, let's be honest, executives, particularly media executives, are not exactly profiles in courage. They're going to worry about the impact of doing anything that is perceived as going against quote the administration. You're going to see a lot of pressure to change the quote culture of Hollywood. Good luck going out there and trying to sell a live action Snow White with a non-white lead in 2025, 2026. That's going to be a really hard sell because executives are just by their nature risk adverse, and they're not going to want to do anything that is seen as being controversial or causing trouble. You're going to see a lot fewer projects with diverse leads with LBTGQ boy, it's been a long day. Storylines because it's just people are gonna be concerned about that, and maybe to a certain extent, rightfully so. Before the election, you were seeing people on the right basically saying, "Look, we're going to go after CBS, we're going to go after MSNBC, we're going to go after Disney because we think that they've done things that we don't agree with." The executives are going to be worried about that. And if there are any moves along those lines, it's going to put a lot of fear into companies, and you're going to see a lot of very cautious decision making about projects, and that's going to have an impact on Hollywood. I mean, I think one other thing to think about, and this is sort of a bigger macro thing to consider, is Hollywood has been sort of the gold standard for worldwide entertainment really since its very beginning. And part of the reason is that people look at Hollywood entertainment, they look at those movies, they look at those TV shows, and they see an America that they see as inspirational. They see in America what they want to be America. That's why these shows are so popular. You can go basically anywhere in the world and mention Friends or a popular movie franchise, and people know exactly what you're talking about because those projects they translate across the world. And that's been changing a little bit in the last few years, just naturally as production hubs outside Hollywood have really grown up. They got more mature, they have more experience. But you're going to see that a lot more now, a lot more pushback. It's going to be really hard, 2 years out into a Trump administration, for someone in France to look at one of the FBI shows and think, "Wow, this is really cool. This is really interesting. This is probably the U.S. that I see that I want to be." That's gonna have an impact on Hollywood. It's gonna have an impact on the kind of projects they do, the kind of projects they sell internationally. It's going to make it possible for the production hubs outside of Hollywood to do projects that wouldn't be greenlit in the U.S. If you were in France or Germany or the UK, doing a show that captures the U.S. in a maybe not so optimistic light will both be possible and it'll be profitable to do. So you're going to see a lot more realigning of what's going on in the entertainment industry globally. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. This is something certainly I'm going to be writing about, thinking about a lot in the next few weeks and months and years. And I'm curious to see what you think. Please leave a comment in below, or just send me an email at rick@allyourscreens.com. I promise to be a little bit more articulate tomorrow. I try and do these things at one shot, and man, was it a long night. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.